What's going on, y'all, man? It's crazy.
What's the word?
First of all, how y'all doing? Before we introduce this live stream,
I'm well. I'm a little hangry. Bree, I can hear you
cause her mic muted.
I'm glad to be here. God is good.
Best day of your
all the
life, right?
time.
Best day of my life. I believe like I'm here. Thank you.
Mm. That's what's up. That's what's up. That's what's up. So everybody that's tuning in, welcome to What's the Word. It's a little live stream we got going on just to talk about what's going on in the culture. You know what I mean? We got a very special guest, my homie Ross Mack. I'm Cody. I will be moderating, hosting it, whatever you want to call it, along with my partner in crime, Bree Specific.
Hey, what up, y'all?
And joining us is a very special guest. I would like to say
Yeah, get her flowers.
one
Yeah.
of the dopest rising personalities, content curators that we got in the city. And when I was like, yo, when we gonna do this live, I was like, yo, I want Mary J. Because I seen her the other day and I'm like, yo, our first guest contributor is gonna be Mary J. I don't know what the hell. I got it. It was it. So y'all, Boss J, Mary J, the chocolate baddie is here with us today.
Chocolate
Thank
Betty.
y'all for having me. Thank you, Cody, for giving me my flowers. I'll be kind of working outside a little bit.
Man, you be doing your thing. You be doing your thing. And I think that's what brings us to doing lives and want to have this conversation because we want to talk about everything, people doing their thing, people not doing their thing, just all type of shit that's going on right now. And yes, we can cuss because we're not on airways.
Ooh.
Okay, go ahead.
Uh,
I ain't get the memo. I got my at sign in front of the in front of my name.
you want to get some followers, girl, go and do your thing.
Okay.
Most thing I do, I make sure I got the ring light and put a little pink oil lotion sheen on my beard so it's
You bought
glistening.
a ring light for this? Cause you ain't had one.
No, this just don't worry about what I got. Just worry about why your skin ain't glistening like mine.
My skin stay glistening.
Okay.
Okay,
All right.
melanin is popular.
Thank you.
All right. So we're gonna go ahead and get to the first topic of the day, right? So before we get into the topics and I want to just kind of like give a recap of like just what everybody weekend was, what their week going on, like what y'all had going on. So I'm gonna start with Boss J. Like, how was your week?
The weekend was cool. It was a little roller coaster for me. I lost somebody close, but we celebrated her life this past weekend on the 4th, so that was really cool. I had some extra sleep because we was off Tuesday, so that was cool. It was decent.
What about you, Brie?
I'm over here trying to think about my weekend.
Back
What can
outside,
I say?
Bree. I was with Bree the whole weekend too.
It was a blur. No, me, yeah, I had Mary J outside all Saturday. She was out west.
Ouch.
We had
Yes, I had took a field trip in 290.
we had a
Yeah,
great 290 adventure,
I'm
okay?
glad you made it back. Um, because man, 290 is something else over there.
Please chill on us.
Man, y'all be chilling y'all self, man.
Y'all
Y'all gotta
love,
get.
y'all love coming out west, and then y'all love 290 women. So
I ain't gonna lie, out west do got the best girls. I ain't gonna stop.
Out west, smoke OG. I'ma just say that.
that has nothing to do with me.
That was the biggest downfall of being in 290.
But at least they tell you what you get before they sell it to you. I feel like we was out south
At
and
least they do. I appreciate that. They ain't finesse me.
was
Except one.
You,
Except
you ain't get finesse out west, dang. That was the first. They be
oh,
trying to
we
finesse
got
everybody.
finesse.
oh, we got finesse. Oh, we
We got
definitely got finesse.
finesse. And I got
Hmm.
finesse messing with her.
Wow. So how do you get finesse? Tell us a story.
Man, somebody told me pull up on them for the gas pack and a shirt. I'm thinking, I'm like, okay, I'm gonna support the gas pack. My name Mary J. Right? I'm like, okay, the shirt, cool. I rock with the brand, cool. But what they didn't tell us is that we was paying for these shirts. That's where they had me messed up. Cause I didn't ask for a shirt.
So in order to get,
I never asked for anything. He said, "Bree, you want what?" I said, "Yeah." So okay. Never said this is how much
He
they
hit
cost.
it with the cash out me. I said cash out.
Baby,
so
you can have this shirt back.
so in order to get the Mary J, you had to buy a shirt,
She had to pay for
Apparently,
both.
or
I
he
had
wasn't
to pay for both.
or he wasn't gonna give you your weed.
Now, Cody, can I ask you this? Do you think that would have been petty if I would have just gave him a shirt back and just paid for the weed?
No.
I feel like it. I feel like if that was me, I would have just told him, "Gee, don't quote me the price for the shirts. Don't add that in there. I need to know just what's my weed, and then leave your shirt.
And Andy,
Don't
It
be
was
adding
given
no.
to support the
what he
brand.
said? He said, "Oh, I'm sorry, y'all was selling those shirts, love."
You should have
No,
said that back to me.
don't add no inflation on. I ain't come over for that, but that's what happens when you go out west. They always add
Yeah,
extra
that's what happens when you go
finesse,
out west.
for real.
Yeah, finesse.
We're gonna add that to every story. Your out west story. I went out west this week. This is my story. All right. But for me, I'm glad y'all enjoyed
I
what
was
y'all
gonna
had.
ask, how was your weekend?
My weekend was cool. It started off stressful. Not gonna lie, it started off stressful. Um, and then ended pretty good. You know, I had a birthday party. Shout out to my brother Armani. Shout out to Shanada. You know what I'm saying? The Life is Social birthday party and brunch day party. It was really dope. You know what I mean? My friends came. My family was there. Like the rain act like it didn't want us to have any fun, but people still came and showed out in the rain. You know?
And sat on
They
stage.
did, and look, y'all look good as fuck. I just want to say that y'all look so nice. At the thing, I was trying to get my stuff together, but the rain was like, no.
Yeah, no, I didn't see a few people that I talk to on a regular basis. They ain't come out and kick it, but it's all fine and dandy.
It's a shade.
Uh,
I feel like I'm right. I feel the shade.
you feel yeah, because I feel like right
What you feel like, Cody?
if if Bree was having this extravagant birthday party with her fire everywhere, and if Cody showed up for 10 seconds and said, "Hey, I got a dip," I'll be hearing about that until 2024.
Oh, we're bringing our friendship into this now.
I feel that though.
Cody knew.
I ain't in it.
No, let's be clear, because
I will say though, because we was in traffic. We was 5 minutes away for an hour. That was insane.
Literally for an hour. On
Literally.
Roosevelt.
I'm like, between that NASCAR stuff and downtown, it was crazy.
No, I ain't really one for excuses, but you know what? You know, y'all the homies, so we just gonna
we passed it.
And
your birthday
it's still cancer season, so we got some time to make up.
My actual birthday is tomorrow though, but it was a good time.
Oh, well, even better. See,
like my mom. So also friends, got to watch your friends around your family. They have my mom twerking.
Okay, she was celebrating. It's her
birthday
too.
Though.
Huh? My mom.
It's her birthday too.
My mom is 52. She should not be twerking.
She should.
My mom be twerking. Bree, you was just at my house. You ain't see my mom over there wrecking it up.
Maybe Mary J. Mama turned
up. That is crazy.
Okay. They best life.
So speaking of twerking and being a mama, we go transition. We go get these transitions right. I'm gonna be a transition king by the end of the show.
I like your segues.
Segue. So one of the dope things that we experienced in Chicago last week was Finity the Rapper had a video shoot. And you know, Bree showed up to this. She wasn't on time, but she stayed for a long time. But Cardi B was there. And Cardi B showed out. But I think outside of Cardi B being there, to me, I think the most important part about that whole shoot to me was that's the women in Chicago artists that came out and showed love to be a part of it, to be cameos. And it just kind of just sparked the conversation of the women in Chicago hip hop, the Chicago women in hip hop, like the movement that's going on. And as two prominent figures right now, just behind the scenes, in front of the camera, just in the mix with this movement that's going on right now. Can y'all speak on that?
I think you said it.
Oh,
Support each other. It's not no beef. It's not even like we got drill female rappers. We got City Girl Fun Time female rappers. We got female rappers that do smoke and rap about smoking like Wes Khalifa, but they all support each other. I feel like we haven't really had that much camaraderie with any group of artists in a very long time. So I like to see it. That's why I support it because I like to see it. And they real life is like a sisterhood. Like they real life be like about each other.
I did see that. I did see that. I
mm.
did see that. So what do you say to this question? And I'm just want to throw out there and just be like, just to spark your brain. Do you feel that it's real genuine love, or would you say it's more so like uh
They trying to ride
I'll
the wave.
yeah, ride a wave.
You so
Everybody
messy.
no, it's just this is just what like y'all in it. So people
It
talk. So what
could
do y'all
be a little bit of it could be a little bit of both. I feel like that's more so like a personal, like when you actually get to hang with certain girls and see how they act around certain female rappers versus the ones that act around the other ones. I feel like it's a little bit of both. Like everybody want to get put on some type of way, and if you see your homie or if you see this girl doing what she do, why you don't want to get attached to her?
do you
I
feel
don't think
like
there's nothing wrong with it as long as like the intentions are there.
mm,
But I
so
mean,
when you
that's what everybody in Chicago.
let's that could be a Chicago thing, but
It's a Chicago thing. Like when people, like for instance, I feel like when Cowboy dropped "Envy Me," everybody was saying they put Cowboy on. Everybody was saying Cowboy was their cousin. They do it with Ari now. Everybody be like, "Yeah, I know Ari," or "Yeah, I went to school with Ari," or "Yeah, my cousin know Ari." Like it's a Chicago thing. So yeah, if you look like you got some motion, be expected for people to come and try to ride your way.
so as a person, as people like, especially, I'm just gonna direct this question towards you, Bree, because I want to say you're like an industry vet. You have right now you're experiencing your wave just as a personality, and just by me being your friend, I see the traction thing that comes your way. Like, what are the pros or cons of people trying to attach themselves to your wave?
Um, your social media goes down very fast. I would say that for one. Um, you run into a lot of people who don't have your best interests at heart. Um, I think the worst part about it is like when you want to start work, like when people want to work with you, like, hey, I could help manage, or hey, I could do PR, I could do this, I could do that, and they really don't know what they're doing.
Mm,
Um, and I feel like a lot of times, even with female rappers, like a lot of times they get these independent Chicago labels and independent investors, and they don't know how to, put money up, or they don't know how to push you as an artist. And then next thing you know, you stuck in a contract, somebody that shelved you, and it really ain't your fault. Like you could be an amazing artist, but you signed to the wrong person. You signed to somebody that just said, "Hey, I got a couple thousand. You look like you popping. Let me see what I could do just to say that I'm in the music industry." That happened way, way, way too often in Chicago. I don't know if it happens in other cities, but when I look at people like 1501 or um what other like up and coming, I can't really think right now, but 1501 is probably the one that come to mind. I feel like they started out small
mm-hmm.
and they knew how to push an artist. We get independent labels or investors, whatever, that start small and they stay small, and then the artist stays small when that artist could have been big if they just went to the right person or just kept investing in themselves. So like the biggest thing, like don't invest too much of yourself into everybody else around you.
Okay.
Like if you got your wave, you ride your wave, you be selfish with what you got going on, and make sure that everything you do, every move that you make is for you first.
Okay. So I'm gonna ask a similar question to Mary J. So as a person that I say that's as a personality out here that's coming into her wave. What I want to say, like you're coming into your wave. I see you more hosting more things. I see you out in the mix more than it was when you first got here on college. From college, probably like 3-4 years ago when you got from SIU. Now, as you coming into your wave and coming into your glow, what are some pros and cons to make you feel like, yo, I want to work with certain people, but I don't want them to feel like I'm trying to hop on their tail. Like how do you go about that type of stuff?
That's a good question. I want to use Bree as an example. I tell a story. So I was having a conversation with my good brand manager, Shay. Shout out to her. And we were just talking about my journey and like some of the things I needed help with. And she brought up like, oh, Bree was like, why you don't ask her for help? And I think that's something I was struggling with at first. Like, I didn't feel like I didn't really want to like step on anybody else's toes, you know, and also like you probably hear artists say this a lot. Like they might say, oh, I don't listen to other artists besides myself because I don't want to sound like them. And so for me, I was just coming up, I would just always think like, okay, I don't really have a mentor in this field per se, and I didn't really know how to communicate like what I needed without trying to seem like you're trying to ride somebody's wave, if that makes sense. So when it come down to like me hanging out with Bree, I just try to stay true to myself. Like, who am I as a personality? Who am I as Chocolate Baddie, Mary J, and not letting what Bree got going on interfere with my personality. I think sometimes people do get kind of caught up in the wave too much. Like, oh, well, let me try to be this type of personality like Bree so I could try to excel, when I feel like if we stay true to ourselves and we just, you know, get the gems we can get, we'll be better. So that's what I'm at with it. I'm more open to like working with people like Bree, Frankie, just like getting advice from them, but also like trying to stay in my lane with who I am as Chocolate Baddie.
Okay. So what I'm getting from it, shout out to Mark for his amazing article on Tribe. Make sure y'all go read it about the women, the Chicago, like the movement and just hip hop. Shout out to all the young lady of the artists that was mentioned, as far as like the Mellow Bugs, you know what I mean, the Money, the G's, everybody just a part of that movement. What I'm getting from what y'all are saying is that this movement is a genuine movement, and navigating through it is still fresh because there's nobody to really like guide it because it's never happened before.
Yeah,
fresh,
I would agree with that. I would agree with that, and I definitely feel like the Mouse Couture song was kind of like the start of like, okay, women like, oh, let's come together like as rap baddies, especially in this industry with the rap baddies right now. I'm really feeling like it's Team Nicki versus Team Cardi, and so I just really, really, really want the baddies to like get it together. Yes, come together.
That's dope. That's dope. I like that. I like that. And I see y'all doing a dope job at it, you know what I mean? Especially from a personality standpoint, a teacher standpoint, but then the artist, like, I love to see it from the artist. I love to see how y'all moving and shaking, man. Moving and shaking. So another artist, I believe she from the crib, but she's more than an artist. She's more like she's a conglomerate. You know what I mean?
Baby, KeKe is an icon. Stop playing with her.
Like she's a multimedia conglomerate. She's an icon. She's everything. KeKe Palmer. Now KeKe was just recently, as of yesterday, with the talk of the internet, because you know Usher serenaded her. You know what I mean, and then as she was in Usher's arms while he's singing to her, the dress she had on, right? So now that dress, everybody was like, what was it, a baby daddy? He was like, no, you a mom, you shouldn't be wearing that, and like stuff. So that sparked a real big conversation around that. So I want you to weigh in on that, because I know you be having a lot to say about this type of stuff.
Because why is her baby daddy? Why do he want to be insecure now? Like,
right.
You could have been insecure a very long time ago. First off, he shouldn't have took it to the internet. He should have screenshotted it, sent it to her, and been like, what is this? And then they could have handled it. I just didn't like how he came on the internet, because that makes you look insecure. And as a Black woman from Chicago, and she's from the Chicagoland area, we don't like that. We too aggressive for that. We don't like that. Don't get on the internet and you embarrassing yourself. We get embarrassed on the internet already. Don't embarrass yourself to this my baby daddy. Like, no. He He could have just texted her. I was very disappointed in him because we was just rooting for KeKe. She look good. Her mom body is amazing, so I don't see no problem with it. But I didn't think it was an issue. But my friend yesterday, she actually brought up a good point. She said in the video, when KeKe turns around, it's giving the illusion of like she want Usher to look at the fact that her ass was out.
Oh my God, people in these illusions and how you looking at the video, like
that's how she looked at it, and I was
baby,
like, "Dang,
she
I
was
didn't
up
look
there
at
having a good time singing with Usher, baby. She was not, girl. Like, how did y'all even get all that from just that little clip?
That because I did not look at it that deep. I'm like, okay, she just turned around like to the crowd. She just got done like singing with Usher. I wish I probably would turn around.
She didn't need Usher she didn't need Usher to look at her ass, baby. He was already looking, singing. It was the chemistry was there. If it was gonna be anything else, it was already there.
So, what I want to know is, because we're gonna keep it on KeKe Palmer. What I would like to know is that you started on the internet with this whole behavior. You're a mom, you my girl at this too. You in this man's arms. For one, you in this man's arms.
You cannot say
hold on, listen.
We're in Usher's arms.
Okay,
at a concert. That's right there. You in Usher's arms. You in Usher's arms.
At Usher's concert.
With this, I want to say, very revealing outfit on.
Don't say very. Y'all reach it. Go ahead.
Yes.
I'm just put yourself in the man in his shoes, right? Put yourself in his shoes, because if it was on the other foot, would you have allowed for your man to get, like when Janet Jackson got that video when Janet is like dancing on dude and like rubbing on him and like doing like, how would you feel if that was your man on, like, would you be like, oh cool, it's just Janet Jackson or Tiana Taylor that does this provocative set? It'd be a conversation in the car.
No.
It's Janet Jackson. It's Beyonce. It's
Tiana Taylor. Like what? No, we will not feel away. It's a part of the concert.
Yeah, like
that could have been anybody. He just fell away because it was Usher, and I want him to come out and say that. Don't try to make it about her dress. You was mad
when a rich nigga wants you.
I'm gonna move on, because I feel like I agree with the ladies on this. I agree with, as a man, even though if you do feel the type of way, like, you shouldn't have went to the internet. I'm not a big fan of just going to the internet and releasing how I feel about a certain individual that I'm dealing with. So I'm with the ladies on this one.
And the tempo of KeKe Palmer has changed.
Yes.
Since she had that baby, because the body that she has now, it's always been, oh, KeKe's so beautiful. Oh, KeKe stay with a job. Oh, KeKe is amazing. Oh, KeKe can sing a little bit. But no, now it's like, no, KeKe looks good. Like, she looks good.
Okay. And I think that is a lot of confidence for her to even come outside in an outfit like that after she just had a child. Like, a lot of women experience postpartum depression, they body shame. Like, baby, KeKe was outside having a great time.
I think that he can't. I think that he's not used to her getting this type of sexual attention on the internet. He got used to it. She look good.
Okay.
Move on and let a Chicago king come take care of her.
Okay. Because it was definitely giving baby daddy trouble. Like,
so
you on the internet to do that.
So let me take some time to read some comments before we move on.
Is my student out here?
Yes.
I feel like you should have a certain level of understanding when you're in the industry. That is a topic.
I agree with that.
That is a topic for another day, because somebody's job, understanding my job, you still can't. You can have an understanding of a job, right? We can have a talk and have an understanding, but you still can't get mad at my feelings towards it, right? It happened in real time, because you talking. I'm trying to be the best way to say it. Like, you can talk to me about it, and we can be like, yeah, that's cool. But if we never have ever experienced it, you can't get mad at their first actual experience, right? Now, if it becomes a thing, to me, I feel like then we got to move around, because this relationship is not gonna work. So yeah, so like, y'all get what I'm saying?
Yeah. No.
I'm halfway here with you. I'm halfway here with you.
Man, well, at least you halfway with me. Somebody that's 0% no more is apparently Diddy, right? So I don't know if y'all seen Diddy is no longer a part of Ciroc. Right? He separates from Ciroc. The owners went in on him and said that, you know what I mean, he's just not a good person. I mean, it's Diddy. The rumors of him not being a good person is nothing new. But let me ask you this. No matter their business dealings, right? And we talk about going to the internet. Why y'all going to the internet, going to blogs and tabloids, right? Do you feel that no matter the business dealings that they had, or he not being a good person, did he put Ciroc on the map? You know what I mean? So him exiting, y'all don't should he receive that backlash like that? So that's how I feel about it. I'm gonna leave the floor up to y'all. We're gonna go with Boss J.
I definitely feel like Diddy put Ciroc on. Don't know what happened behind the scenes, but I'm kind of with you. Like all this internet trolling is like, okay, it's one thing to get on the internet and be like, okay, hey, I'm no longer part of Ciroc. Wish them the best of luck. Well, whatever. Even if they want to put a post up like, you know, Diddy is no longer with us. Wish them the best of luck. Fine, but blasting somebody on the internet is just like, okay. I mean, like, where are we going with this? And I don't think Diddy deserved. I mean, we know Diddy is Diddy, but I don't think he deserved it from Ciroc. Like, how dare y'all?
The audacity.
The audacity. Diddy was the one with the Ciroc bottles everywhere. He made Ciroc cool. I don't even drink vodka.
Okay, we being honest, Ciroc is nasty.
Ciroc is nasty. It's
nobody
terrible.
Drink that.
He made niggas drink Ciroc look cool. Like,
okay, red berry.
I don't think he deserved that backlash. Not on the internet. Like, nah.
That's real. Well, I don't quote me on this because this is not the fact checking show. You want to go fact check, Google yourself. But I wonder what that does to DeLeon Tequila. Like,
that's what I was gonna ask. Is DeLeon and Ciroc under the same company?
I don't know, but if you watching, you fact check for us and let us know. But until then, my tequila is gonna be John Basil and Purpose Plug. Love said champagne, Black Bottles Boys. You know what I mean? So that's what we doing.
Okay, Black on tequila, believe tequila. You know, go there.
Some Beyond and lemonade, get you right.
Beyond and lemonade.
Now, shout out to Big Seal G. Like she had when we was on our way to the Wisconsin Fest. T-Pain, shout out T-Pain, Toby Lou, Taylor Bennett. Like we was drinking a Beyond and she mixed it with some lemonade, and it was smooth.
I never tried with lemonade. We did it with ginger ale,
and cream soda. It's really good with cream soda.
I'm gonna try that next. Do some cocktails, maybe barbecue. We can make some cocktails, you know.
Barbecue.
It is that season. You know what I mean? But shout out to Diddy, man. I hope you do your thing, man. And you gotta quit being bad out here because your reputation is everything. You can't control.
Yeah, that's the company fault.
You can't control. You can't control what nobody said about you. You say what?
DeLeon is under the same company as Ciroc.
What? Hey, John Basil Tequila all summer.
Okay.
So,
because they really just mad that everybody drinking DeLeon, nobody.
Yeah, that's why.
Honestly, that's what it is. It's like a label. Like Ciroc got shelved, so they just sitting there, and DeLeon on the press run right now. Yeah, they mad.
Maybe we got to get Diddy on here one day to explain itself. So we just speak about being creatures of habit in your reputation, and we just talk about, you know what I mean, just economics and putting a brand on. So our very next guest is a brother that understands economics better than most people in the culture, that understands that we are creatures of habits, and he's putting together a real dope wealth summits to change those bad habits that we got within the Black community to help us get to the bag. I want everybody on live to give a round of applause. We're going to do a drum roll for my brother, Ross Mizak.
Ross Mizak is crazy.
I'm trying to be cool, man, but the homie Ross Mac, man. Can y'all turn this mic on?
Yo, my bad. I appreciate y'all having me, man. Y'all already know it's nothing but LOVE. And I like the way you kind of came with the Mac with the Mizak. I ain't mad at
You see why they hating on you? They try to add a little flavor because they all still like the braids they got in their hair.
it.
Yo,
Okay, not too much.
Not too
I
much.
think
All
that
right.
was the third one.
Hey.
No, but Ross, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing phenomenal, man. Like I say, I appreciate y'all having me on What's the Word. You know what I'm saying? It's nothing but love.
We appreciate you coming on, man. We appreciate you coming on and finna bless us with the information that you're about to. So first thing, first question I want to ask you for the audience that may not be familiar with you, who is Ross Mack?
Ross Mack is a brand, right? We got the music on one side, we got the financial literacy on the other side. So if you from Chicago, you might have heard a few songs or two on the radio, but what I'm really, passionate about right now is my financial literacy company. And with that, one of the things we focus on is trying to help revolutionize the culture around information, right? The culture around financial literacy, because I look at it as being effectively life or death, right? When it comes to our community, because they say by the year 2053, the median household net worth of a black family gonna be zero. So one of the things I wanted to do was find a better way to change that and alter those statistics. So my background is I'm from the south side of Chicago, but I used to live in New York, work on Wall Street for a number of years. And one of the things I did when I was coming back to Chicago, I realized that people that look like me, that's from South Shore or from wherever they from, we just aren't exposed to information about financial literacy, right? It's not that we're not smart about things, just we're not exposed to. And obviously, we're creatures of habits. So if our parents, our grandparents was bad with money, chances are we're gonna be bad with money. And so one of the things I said is, okay, I want to set out a way to find and make learning about money, learning about investing more interesting, right, and more easily digestible. So what I started doing back before it was TikToks or even Threads or all that type of stuff. I was putting out quick 59-second videos on Instagram before IGTV and all that. And what I was doing was helping people find a funny way of learning about investing, learning about retirement, learning about how to get their credit right? All that type of stuff. And that ended up doing so well organically that ended up leading me to having a TV show on Revolt TV. And fast forward to today, I work with a lot of amazing brands, whether it's Revolt or BET. I do things with the street where I'm actually in New York on the New York Stock Exchange. I got a film, a top charting documentary called Get Smart with Money on Netflix, as well as doing things with Complex. But the thing that we had to talk about is this coming Sunday, right? The Maconomics Wealth Summit, where I speak on a ton of panels all around the world. But the one thing that I'm so grateful for is to have a great network of people that I could call on that's all effectively based in Chicago. And they're going to do one thing, and that's actually helping the audience transform their relationship with money, right? Like we literally are trying to make people that look like us start talking about money differently. And so these people that I'm bringing on the panel, they're experts in their fields, right? They are managing hundreds of millions of dollars from as private wealth managers, right? We got people that's in the NFL, that's on the Bears actually, that's so good at investing. The NFLPA hit him up to go talk to some of the shorties, right? We got people that's life insurance, right? That's experts when it comes to that. That's going to actually teach us how to leverage it and utilize it. But also we talking about estate planning, right? We're talking about real estate. We got Rashana, who's one of the top realtors here, and we also got Chris, who literally has a show on HGTV. The list goes on. We got some top entrepreneurs that's going to really help. But what we're trying to do is just transform and really change the overall landscape with us as a community, because we talk about a lot of stuff, right? We glorify different things, but at the end of the day, the root of most stuff is money. And what we're trying to do is help people have better money management skills.
I mean, that was amazing. I think we all need some money, some help, and I think it's this post that I just seen Chicago media take out post, and it said Chicago black. Basically, what it was saying, like black people, Chicago is like basically the poorest. We the brokers.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, they were saying Illinois.
Illinois.
Yeah, no, I've seen the post. It's it's troubling, and when you see stats like that, and that's what put me on this pathway, right? Where the very first stat was saying by not just Illinois, but all black people, right, in America by the year 2053 gonna have a net worth of 0. So anytime I see stuff like that, is one, what's happening, right? One, we're financially illiterate, so we are living beyond our means, right? We don't know how to budget. We are on a hamster wheel when it comes to recurring debt. All we're doing is paying the minimum and just kicking the can down the road. We have, our credit scores are worse. So therefore, we paying higher interest rates when we're borrowing money. We don't invest. We own less than like 4% of the stock market. 70% of black people literally are dying without a will. So there's no intergenerational wealth transfer, right? And then we don't get no life insurance, right? How often do you see, unfortunately, when someone passed away, people are talking about, yo, here's the GoFundMe. And the reality is, for a few drinks in a club, you can, a healthy 30-year-old girl could get a $1 million life insurance policy for like $30, $40. Like, that's really nothing, but we're not exposed to it. And that's what it is. It boils down to exposure. And so that's why I've, built a brand, built a production company to make it, put it in your face, right? We got to talk about this because we like, when it comes to talking about money and finance, it's really taboo. And I'm trying to change that.
Okay. So we in hip hop, right? So in hip hop, in our culture, hip hop, to me, just to disclose, hip hop is just to me a Black American culture, right?
Yeah.
So in hip hop, it's all about what you spend.
Yeah.
It's about looking the most expensive, having the biggest car, spending $500,000 or $1,000, $1,500 on shoes. How can you? What are some of the challenges that you face when you come talk to people in our culture about, like, yo, you might want to, instead of spending that money that you on your wardrobe, you might want to save it and get life insurance, or you might want to get to the stock market, and you might, and I want to kind of drag this out a little bit because, stocks can be a long-term investment, right? Where in our culture, we look for the quick flip.
Yep.
So, like, how do you, like, give me some challenges you face, and then what's your skills and your strategies to making people understand you?
So one, right, going to your first point about us spending bread, trying to look rich, right? Like, because we don't necessarily come from wealth, we try to look it, right? We're in the social media world. You ain't rich unless you got some designer, right? You ain't really got it unless you show me you got it. And because of that, us as a community, unfortunately, we brainwashed, and there's Nielsen statistics that show that we as Black people only make up 14% of the population, right? But we outspend other groups in a lot of categories, and we're more inclined to spend more money to look rich as opposed to being rich, right? We spending money on things that we can't afford to impress people that don't like us and we don't like, right? So that's really the cycle. And so, and going to the next point. So one, right, helping a person understand, like, you're living beyond your means, one, right? The way you get there is you got to help a person write it down. They got a budget in order to truly know, one, right, what's all the unnecessary money being spent, because we spend money because of, technological advances. We spending money so quick, we don't even see it. Like back in the day where it was only cash and maybe, a few places cash, and then they'll let you write a check. You feel me? But like back in the day, it was harder to spend money. Now you ordering stuff on Uber with just your face. You know what I mean? You just, you Venmoing, you Cash Apping. It's in you one click buying stuff on Amazon Prime. And so it's real easy to spend money. And so what happens is a person psychologically needs to see where their money is going. They need to psychologically see, damn, I really just ordered Uber Eats 20 times this past month for dinner and lunch, right? Like when you really start writing it down. So everything starts with the budget to actually see, one, how do you, prioritize cutting back expenses in certain areas. And then your next point is like, people want to get rich quick. Like, absolutely, right? I think everybody wants to get rich quick. I do too. However, it's more risky that way, right? Like I tell people all the time, there's an actual blueprint to becoming wealthy. It's just a function if you're patient enough to get there. The blueprint is investing every month and allowing your money to compound. And so when you reach retirement age, you'll have over $1 million, right? Call it investing in the stock market, investing in the S&P 500. And so to those people, everybody want to get rich quick. And I tell the person at the bare minimum, why not have the long-term play while you're investing monthly? And then if you like, man, I really want to get rich by the next 10 years, I think at the end of the day, you really want to find a way to say, here's my fallback plan. I'm going to retire rich, but you could also pursue your other ways of trying to get rich quick. Legal though, you know what I'm
saying? Now, I'm on here to I'm being devil's advocate. So I agree with you a lot, right? But I'm just gonna speak for the people that might give you pushback when you I won't say it's preaching, but when you provide this information. And for you all those who listening, these questions, y'all, this is the way he answered these questions is giving y'all clear as day why y'all need to be at his summit on July 9th. So Ross, my next question to you is gonna be, when you have things such as stocks, right? Mm-hmm. That's something that a lot of people wouldn't view as tangible. A lot of people are scared about it because they feel like, stock market, they hear stuff about stock market's crash. Or if I put $100 in there now today, it's worth $30. What are some other ways of building wealth outside the stock market that you think that can be more comfortable for our people to get into first?
Without a doubt. So one, you got to talk about it like this, right? Let's talk about why a person needs to invest first, right? Because I think in our culture, and it's passed down from grandmothers and grandmothers, and it literally be like, save your money, right? Save your money, save your money. And obviously we got our own reasons, but there's a lot of mistrust with the banks. And as a result, people will save their money, they'll put it in the shoebox, under the mattress, etc., or even in a bank, in a typical savings account. But the reason, right, to even answer your question, you got to understand why it's so important to invest, because at a bare minimum, right, there's this thing called inflation, right? You remember when we were shorties, we can go to the corner store with $1. We get 4 bags of chips, some zebra cakes, some honey buns, all type of stuff, right? Now, at this rate, you lucky with a $1 bill, you lucky to get 1 bag of chip and a 10-cent bag to put it in, right? And so the reason is because of inflation. So understand this. Inflation is the rise in prices of goods over time. So at a bare minimum, you need to understand that you have to invest to outpace inflation. And I'm going to bring it down and make it even more simple, right? $100 a year ago is only worth $97 today because of inflation, meaning the cost of goods rise on average 3% every year, right? Remember when eggs was like $6, $7 a carton, right? Remember when, right? Like remember back in the day when your grandmama and them was talking about gas was a nickel and not gas $7, right? The prices of all goods increase every year, right? And over time, it looks even drastic, right? And so at a bare minimum, I tell a person, right? A lot of people are like, man, I don't want to invest in the stock market because I don't want to lose money. I tell a person, my exact response is, you're losing money by not investing because of inflation, right? You're losing your purchasing power every year, right? Every time if you're renting, you look and your landlord be like, oh, we raising rent by maybe 2%, 3% because of inflation, right? The cost of living increases every year. And that's just not what your rent, but that's your groceries, tuition, gas prices, electricity, it don't matter. Everything increases, right? And so one, I'll tell a person you losing money by not investing because once again, inflation is roughly on average 3%. The money you put in the bank is getting you 0.3%. So 3% versus 0.3%. So literally meaning your money loses value 3% every year, right? And then so the next thing I tell a person is, look, if you're a long-term investor in the stock market, you're going to be straight. You're going to make money, right? Because the average return of the S&P 500, the stock market, right, what most people will consider as the actual quintessential of what is representative of the stock market, the average return is 10% a year. Sure, it's going to go up. Sure, it's going to go down. But on average, if you look at it over a 30-year period, the average return is 10%, right? And so to a person that's like, I don't want to lose no money, one, you lose money by not investing. But two, if you're a long-term investor, right, make sure you are buying a diversified portfolio and you're in it for the long haul, right? Buying something that you plan on holding for over 5 years, you should be good. Now, to a person like, man, I still don't believe, bro, I don't want to do that. Well, you got to understand real estate is a very viable game because, you know, if you really look at history, you'll understand that 90% of the world's millionaires got their start, right, in real estate, meaning they got their money, their millions first in real estate before they branched out and did other ventures. So that's what I'll say, right? I think it's a lot of ways, but I think to a person that's hesitant, you got to first understand if you haven't been investing this whole time, you've actually been losing money by not investing.
On the screen right there, it says for beginners, investors, where should we start? And that's from the Renzo show. So I don't know if the answer to that question is what you just mentioned was real estate, or do you have another answer to that question?
Real estate is too many. I won't say that. There's barriers to entry when it comes to real estate, right? Credit score, proof of income, right? However, if you're investing in the stock market, well, I'll keep it very simple because we could talk about owning real estate via stocks too, but we'll keep it simple, right? To a person that's beginning, I'll tell you do one thing. First, budget, know how much money you got coming in and out, and then treat investing like a bill because investing ain't doing nothing but paying your future self. We condition to pay, you know, our rent, our Netflix bill, our light bill, our phone bill, our car note, everything. We pay that every month, but we're not taught to pay ourselves first. And what I want you to do is budget to know how much money you got coming in so you can now prioritize investing. And then, right, so now we're talking about, okay, I could afford $300 every month to invest, right? I could afford, right, because it costs $300 to get the, you know, the braids in. I mean, that Bree probably got, right? Like it costs to live, right? Bree, your braids cost about $300. Cost more.
$315. That's crazy.
I just had a call with a girl who had some braids similar, and she told me it was $3. So I
was
right on
115.
But so I say that to say, right? Imagine to a person that's like, man, I ain't got no money to invest. Like, nah, bro, you go in the club every weekend. You spending $200 on some girls that don't, you know, talk to you after that. You feel me? So like at the end of the day, you start budgeting and then you start saying, okay, this is how much I could afford to invest in. And the very first thing you buy is the S&P 500. The most diversified portfolio is 500 of America's best companies. We talk Apple, Amazon, Netflix, Microsoft, Google, Facebook, Nike, you know, Home Depot, like the list goes on. And so that's what I'll say to that person.
Well, excuse me, for that person that's listening and that want to get more of the advice on how to get to the bag, make sure y'all sign up for his micronomics. I can't say it right because I be trying to say micronomics.
Take your time.
How about you say it?
Sign up for the Mechanomics Wealth Summit this Sunday, July 9th. Make sure y'all there. I need to be there. My bird's gonna be there. Mary J gonna be there. And we giving away tickets. All right. We got some Economics Wealth Summit tickets. We giving away a pair of tickets. So you get 2 tickets.
2 tickets.
Yeah. You get 2 tickets. Okay. You and your baby daddy. So y'all can go in there and get some life insurance. Learn about investing for your kids. So that y'all don't gotta argue about child support no more. You see how that works? All you gotta do is
you can get better braids than what Bree got in her head.
You're wild because that's number 4. Number 4. And we only 48 minutes in.
So this is how you can win these tickets. We just saw what you can win, but this is how you can win these tickets. As you're watching this live, all you make sure you following and subscribing to What's the Word. Reshare the live right now and tag us in it and let us know that you watching and tag us in. Like, yo, I watched, I tuned in, and just share and let us know what's going on. And we're going to go through and we're going to pick somebody. But y'all got to share this live because y'all got to make sure y'all share this information so that Ross is dropping these gems because he ain't come over here and waste his time for free. And we trying to get y'all in there for free so y'all can get some money. I think that just flowed perfectly. What y'all think?
That did. Congratulations. Same economics.
One section.
See, if my mama probably wasn't watching this right now, I'll probably give you the finger.
Number 5.
That's number 5, right? Number 6 is
like 5 is insane.
Crazy.
It's crazy. But man, Ross, man, I appreciate you for sliding through, man, and dropping gems, man. And anytime you want to join us live, man, come get on there with us, man.
Appreciate y'all, man. Much love. You already know when I drop some more music, I got something stupid on the way. You know, I gotta come hit y'all anyway.
For sure.
Come get us. Come get up with us. But that also brings me to the next part of the show, right? So closing out today, because Cindy and Shay gonna kill us. We gonna close this out. Well, no, I can't. I don't know if I could ask Ross this question. But Ross, as a married man, I want to ask you this question. So before we got on here, we was talking about the KeKe Palmer thing and her baby daddy tweet and stuff, right? So as a married man with a wife and with kids, not specifically putting it on you in your relationship, but hypothetically, do you see his viewpoint on how he felt, or are you more so on the opposite side why he's getting the ridicule from the ladies?
I think that you could see his viewpoint. I think everything boils down to the execution. It shouldn't have never been on social media. He should have hollered at his girl, and we wouldn't even known this because a lot of people have these same conversations, but it's behind closed doors. So now the world know fam might be insecure, and I genuinely don't know this guy. I don't think no one knew him until now. I think when KeKe got pregnant by fam, everybody was who's dude, and I think that when you live a life like that, if you somebody that's not in the limelight like she is effectively, you know, one, you got to know, you know, how to play your role because she's obviously going to be in a lot of rooms with people that don't make more money than you. And I genuinely don't know what he do. He can be a tech founder and he make more money than Usher, right? But hypothetically, there's a level of fame that she's going to be around. And so clearly he was, you know, triggered, you know, and, you know, but I think those type of conversations have to happen, not on social media, right? I think there are a lot of husbands that might, you know, at times be insecure, but you just had that conversation behind closed doors.
Okay. Do you feel like if you make more money than your spouse that you got the right to kind of control how they do certain things?
No.
This is what I'll say, right? I think a marriage is a partnership. So what another person's weakness is, the other person should find it to be their strength. So, you know, the word controlling is very hard to agree with. But what I'll say is, you know, every relationship going to be different. I think, you know, communication is the number one thing that keep all relationships straight. So it just boils down to communicating. This is what my expectations are. This is what I value. And, you know, hopefully you respect me enough to keep it. But at the same time, though, that should have been disclosed from the jump, though, right? Where it's like, you know, this is how I feel. If this was something where they've discussed this behind closed doors and she's still going, you know, doing it, then maybe he had to take it to social media because he thought she just was never listening. But at the same time, I think fam should have, you know, kept it on the tuck.
For sure.
So as an advisor in this space, or just a person with the game in this space, is, you know what I'm saying, with money, have you ever had somebody ever come to you like, bro, like I need to know how to get to this bag because my baby mama or my girl make more money than me and I don't like that?
That's transparent as hell.
Nah, that's a good question, right? Like at the end of the day, nothing wrong first and foremost with a woman making more bread than you. I think it's super dope. You know what I'm saying? But I can't think of any, and I talk to a lot of people, you know, people that are seeking financial advice. If that was the case, I don't think they were saying, yo, I need to make more money to get like, you know, to make more than my girl. But a lot of people hit me saying they trying to find better ways of making more money, right? And start planning for retirement, etc. But, you know, ain't nothing wrong with ladies making a bag, man. Ain't nothing, you know, it's always great to compliment the bag, to be honest.
Okay. Now I got some more for you, but I'm glad you giving out. So it'd be an ongoing conversation right now about marriage, and a lot of the homies right now, are contemplating like, yo, when you get married, they're taking out loans to pay for their wedding, for these dream weddings. Do you feel like that is a bad investment?
I think that is insane.
That is definitely insane.
I think it's a terrible investment. A wedding is going to last you about 3-4 hours.
The actual ceremony is like an hour if that.
And you got your reception and your partying and stuff. Weddings cost, sometimes over 50 racks, right? On maybe a normal medium end. What I'll say is that borrowing money to have a wedding, I think, is a bad idea, right? Obviously, most people, right, females have in their mind what they want their dream wedding to look like, right? And what I will say is, if you guys are engaged, put the wedding off enough that you guys, if you're not getting help from the parents or whatnot, put the wedding off enough that you are creating a wedding fund. Take the wedding fund, put it in a high yield account where you're making about 4-5%, and literally don't take money out, only put it in, and both of y'all are contributing whatever y'all can contribute, right? Like the guy might make more or the girl might make more, whatever it is, y'all need to be putting money into it so that once the wedding comes, you don't got to borrow money. Like, I think that's what happens in our community because we, make bad, we manage our money bad. We borrowing money when we got an emergency, or we borrowing money for big events like this, right? How many people went into debt literally just to go see Drake tonight or yesterday, right? So like at the end of the day, I look at it like, man, if you want to do something, plan for it, right? There's a way of putting money aside. Like if right now is July, and end of the year, like everybody right now is going to Africa, right, to Ghana for the holidays, for those festivals and stuff. If that's gonna cost you 5,000 or whatever, start putting the money aside right now. $100 a week or whatever the number is, but that's really how you should think about it.
I like how you just said putting in some type of account that that compounds interest, that you get interest off of. I like that piece of game, and probably would have never known to do something like that for a wedding fund or even a trip.
Absolutely.
If you weren't on here today. So that's why July 9th, y'all need to be there, because I'm pretty sure it's gonna be way more jewels in the building. So to close out, Ross, I'm gonna let you be our guest. We're gonna close out. You know what I mean? We all, is what's the word is always about the culture, about the politics, about the money, but our backbone is the music. So I want to know what everybody's been listening to, what artist, album, which I've been listening to. I'm gonna start with our special guest, Ross. Like, what you been listening to?
Let me see if my shit. You already know I've been listening to that Ross Mac. I ain't gonna lie to you. You know what I mean? I got some shout out Cam. We got something in the tuck. But Uzi hard right now. I ain't mad at what Uzi got. I am not mad at I got the studio right here. Okay. But Uzi hard. I'm not lying. That Uzi, and that Thugger decent. I am with that.
The Thugger. Interesting pick. Chocolate Batty, what you been listening to?
Thugger. I have been listening to Uzi as well. And Rallo Rodriguez, he's actually like one of my favorite local. I don't know if he's still local. I'm gonna say C-list artist, I guess. But he's one of my favorite, like underground. He dropped a new project.
Okay. Bree, what you been listening to?
Kiana Lede just dropped the album called Grudges. So I've been listening to that whole album. What else I've been listening to? I've been listening to Key Glock lately. Yeah, that glaucoma too. And CC, she got a song called "And." I like that. And she just dropped a raw freestyle for the West Side. Please stop.
Hey, I need that Makai Pfeiffer meme when he got the cigarette and he like this. Every time Bree mentions something about the West Side, y'all, I just need so I could just put it off screen.
Stop sleeping on us, please.
Well, y'all just gotta stop doing shit. Just leave me alone.
That part.
If it was me, what's me? What I've been listening to? So I gotta shout out little bro. My homie THF G Baby just dropped a new song called Hood Cry. That's been on repeat for me. Young Blue, probably I still listen to that almost every day. I think he got the best album with 2023. Who else been against? Yo, that's new Toby Lou. This new Toby Lou album is fire. It's called Decent. It's 8 tracks. It is hard. I think Polo G, and Damian Lillard, the basketball players on the intro. They got a verse on the intro. Like Polo killed it. He got 2 features from KeKe on there. Like this shit is hard. They shouted out "What's the Word" on there, so that's another little plus. You know what I mean? Yeah, but when I say the beat selection and like the production on the album is hard. It's hard. So those what I've been listening to. And when my boy Ross dropped his music, I'm gonna add that. That's what I'm listening to. My boy Ross Mack. You know what I mean?
Hey, it's like that. You know, I was ready to just go ahead and press play. The house coming. Shit getting out of hand.
It's giving. I need you to come do some baddie vlogs on my show.
Hey, he said shit getting out of hand. Okay.
On me. It's one of those though.
I'll rock with it.
I ain't gonna just bogart the whole live, but just know we coming.
Yeah, and we about monetization too. You know, you put copyrighted music and then they're gonna flag out monetization.
Okay. It ain't out yet, so it ain't copyrighted yet.
You know what I'm saying? We try to get a bag too, brother. Don't stop us, man.
Hey, that's why I only gave you 2-3 seconds. You know what I'm saying?
It's getting out of hand.
It's getting out of hand.
A lot of niggas lying what they posting on the gram.
Oh,
PPP scams. Talking crazy.
That's a caption, okay?
I need you to come on my show, drop some baby vibes.
Better know it. I appreciate y'all having me, man. It's nothing but love. I ain't gonna lie to you. Whether we here or we at Atlanta and Revolt, it's big LOVE when I see y'all everywhere we
at. Okay.
I'm seeing y'all Sunday though, right?
I'm gonna be there.
We in the building Sunday.
Summits.
We gonna drop the flyer. Go ahead, close us out, Bree.
Okay, make sure y'all come to Mechanomics Wealth Summit. You know, single ladies can learn about stocks, investments, life insurance, and you might come out with a husband. Okay, everybody in the building trying to get some money, so you might as well go ahead and get you a wealthy, eligible bachelor.
Hey, buddy already gonna have his head on his shoulders, and fellas, there's gonna be some women too. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna have their head on their shoulders. You did.
That want to wear anything they want to wear outside.
Please stop. We were doing so good.
I know we was, but now we're gonna close out. Thank y'all for everybody for watching, tuning in. Make sure y'all repost this live, tag us, subscribe so you can get those free tickets. If you like the music you heard, be on the lookout for Ross Mack. Make sure y'all follow him everywhere. And also submit your music to What's the Buzz on Tuesday. Please, every Tuesday, submit your business to What's the Buzz using what'stheword.tv as the website. I'm Cody Mack. This is Boss J. This is Bree Specific. My brother Ross Mack, and we out.
Love.
Shit getting out of hand.
One of those. We still live.